Hi guys. I haven't really updated my PCS vlog, I think in a few months. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna do, oh, that was just my pants, rubbed on my, my leather chair, my leather seat. But anyway, so I haven't updated my PCS vlog. I'm just gonna do this. And it's just, I haven't really been feeling that great lately. It's in the middle of summer. I've just kind of noticed in the past 2 weeks have been really difficult for me. It's very early in the morning. My son is still eating breakfast. I haven't had breakfast. We've been up, what, 10 minutes or something? Maybe 15, who knows? I know it's very, very early in the morning. So I don't know what it is, but what I do remember was in summer in winter and fall, it was very difficult for me. It was very, very dark and I was just completely foggy. The weird thing about like the summer situation that I didn't expect was that I'm even foggier, but in a different sense. When I woke up today and I wanted to really, be in tune with it, I just felt like completely, like there was something on me, like lead or just bags and bags of flour, like really, really heavy on top of my body. My alarm went off. I could just open my eyes and it felt like the slow-mo of turning my head to turn my alarm off. That's exactly how it felt like today. It's getting worse by the day. And I think it could be a combination also of like coffee as well, because I'm also drinking more than 1 cup. It's still a macchiato, it's still an espresso. And I do maximize 2 macchiatos in the morning, and that's it. So it could be a combo, but I'm not really drinking that many cups. I'm not drinking like that was my pants again. It's just my pants have like something on it, like vinyl or something, and then it rubs on my leather seat. But so I just kind of noticed that. I remember my husband just came home because he works like later in the day, and I wake up and like he saw me and he was just like, "How are you doing? Are you all right?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Are you feeling better?" I'm like, I was just like shaking my head. I can't even answer. And he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go to bed. I hope you feel better, all that stuff." And I'm like, like that was basically what's running in my head, and I don't even know if I said anything, but he said he got me a present, and I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I don't honestly know what else I said. So I woke up and I can barely literally move. It really feels like slow-mo, and it feels moving my hands and my arm is very, very difficult. I don't know what it is, but I think through PCS, I feel like, or post-concussion syndrome, if you are new to my vlogs, if you're new to my channel, I feel like it really brought on arthritis for me. I don't know if it's that or if it's also my family history. Both of my parents do suffer from arthritis, but they didn't really start suffering from arthritis until they were like, I'm gonna say like 40 to 50, and I'm not there yet. My brother has said though that he is suffering with arthritis, and what I do remember is that it comes and goes for me. Sometimes it does happen and sometimes it doesn't. And with PCS, with my memory, with our memory, sometimes it's like, because I kind of remember this. My husband reminded me of this, that I had a conversation with somebody and they asked, we were talking about arthritis, and I said, "Oh, I don't have that." And then afterwards, he said, like a day or so or a week or so, that your hands were hurting. and it was the arthritis. And then time goes by and someone asks me again or something like that. And because it wasn't hurting that day or that moment, I just don't remember. So it really is a battle. And right now, like, my hands do feel kind of off. And it comes and goes. And like I said, like, let's just say 8 a.m. it hurts, but then I'm talking about it at 1 p.m. But then at 1 p.m. it doesn't hurt. So I just don't remember. That's still a battle that I still do on a daily basis. My memory is a little bit better. Like, there are some things that I do remember a lot. It just, when I do remember all that stuff, and I think the effort is really just more versus before my injuries. It was effortless. It was just automatic. Like, I'll remember everything. But now it really does take a toll. And when I do try to remember, if it doesn't affect me that day, it affects me the next day, that I am just completely fatigued. But right now, I even made a post on, like, the Facebook group, and I asked, like, is anybody, bothered by the summer sun? Like, I just feel really fatigued. I'm tired. I'm irritated. I'm just it just feels off, and I know something's wrong. I just can't really put up, like, I can't point at it. You know what I mean? I can't really just be like, oh, this is wrong. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, this is wrong. It's like everything is freaking wrong. Everything is irritating. Yesterday, it was like the smallest thing my son does is just incredibly irritating. I had to put him up in his room just so I just don't get any worse. And yeah, he's a toddler, and he does certain things that would push you because he's a toddler, and they want to see how far they can push you and what their limitations are. But I can really tell, like, the way I was handling it, like, my patience was so short. Instead of, like, responding like this, all right, you're going to go in timeout. It was more like, all right, I'm done. You're going in timeout right now. Like, that was the difference. And then when I would put him up and I can have, like, quiet and just my time, that's when I feel like I can breathe and I can decompress and I can feel better. And when that happens, that's when it just hits, like, you just weren't yourself, and you were kind of a little too mean, and you were, like, just not yourself. And that makes me feel really guilty and uncomfortable, because in a normal setting before my injury, I never would have done that. You know what I mean? I never would have snapped. I never would have been that harsh. I never would have said something like that harsh. I never would have just, I don't know, just have, like, a harsh tone, I think is what I'm trying to say. Like, just completely just irritated out of my mind. And I'm grateful there are some people that have worse injuries than me. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that, thank goodness I'm not as bad as you or something like that. It's not like that, essentially. Or I'm not saying that, oh, I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is, I feel like regardless of everything that I'm going through, I feel I do still see some light, and I do still see, like, a little bit of, like, I feel a little lucky still, because there are some situations that are definitely worse than mine, like, really, really far worse than mine. And I feel like I can, like, for me, when I see that, like, oh, I'm improving a little bit, I'm improving, like, to me, that's a good situation. And to me, that gives me the drive to actually just fight and just fight to get better. It's really not easy. Just the fogginess, the mental fogginess is just horrendous. And then waking up in the morning and feeling like I am just, like, I can't move my body is probably the scariest, freakiest thing ever. And this has been going on for the past almost a week, I would say. There has also been some situations that have been very, very stressful in my life. In the past, I mean, ever since March, ever since COVID, and of course everything else that's going through there. And I guess maybe trying to not really consciously put that in your head, but it's subconsciously always in my head. So even though I'm not consciously forcing myself to do it, you can't control, or I can't control my subconscious. And it's just there spinning, 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 all the fears, all the stress, all the worry, constantly. And my husband and I have been having some issues, and we actually just pretty much fixed it, I think, I hope, because majority of it really was just him. He just had some like issues, and he didn't really know how to articulate it. And so he was like building it in internally. And of course it put a strain on the both of us, and there were a lot of fighting and arguments and things like that. And it just got escalated and escalated and escalated. Essentially we were just, we were at a point that I really was thinking like, maybe this is it. Maybe we're going to break up. Maybe we're going to have a divorce. And the whole time while I was just trying to figure out what's going on with us and the entire situation, because it was really, he had everything in his head. He didn't articulate it with me. And so the outcome pretty much was like, I was in the dark. He was angry for something that I had no idea of. He was stressed about something that I had no idea of, or I wasn't really consciously thinking. So we hashed it out, we talked about it, and essentially it was like everything he assumed I would say, think, react, do, prefer, everything was all just in his head. And he was getting angry and upset and stressed about all of that, but it was all in his head. So I felt like it was very unfair on my end that we were fighting, and it wasn't even like it wasn't even my fault. This was just all his assumption and all his frustration and all of his just imagination, essentially. So I think that really took a toll on me, and I'm very, very like honest with you guys. I know like it's my relationship, but I know anybody suffering with PCS and suffering with PCS, anxiety, depression, and that's due to PCS, TBI, and any kind of head injury. It's very, very hard to be in a relationship, because sometimes there's things that trigger you and you can't even yourself figure it out. You can't even explain it. So just imagine I'm still struggling. I'm still trying to heal. And someone else here has got like a fairy tale in their head, and he's starting fights, starting to be difficult, starting to have issues. And it's due to just what's in his head. So it doesn't really help someone like me, someone like us. And so I was going through that too. And we just really had clarification on a lot, pretty much everything. And I feel like that really did take a toll, because, and also during that time, we were going hiking. We were just being out and about, doing a lot of physical stuff outside, outdoors, and things like that. And I think it's the weather. I think it was the stress of the whole situation, the stress of the relationship, the physical just fatigue from just going out and about, when I really, really didn't want to do that before. It just something happened around my birthday, and I just felt like I want to do this. So we've been kind of going hiking, and I really, really loved it. And I think because I've never been that person before, I think right now my ear feels like there's like something in it. I don't know what it is, but anyway, sorry. I think it really is the combination of so many different things, I feel like. But if there's anybody out there that understands what's going on with me, I would really love to know, because if you can tell me like, this is just, do this, because a lot of people have been very, very kind and helpful, and they said it's the heat. It could be the shift so there's two things that were common. It's the heat. So okay? It's the heat. That's fine. So I've been staying indoors. I haven't left out. I haven't left and gone to have a big shift in temperature since yesterday. And then some people were saying it could be the heat, and then you go into air conditioning room, which is super cold, and that could bother you too. And I think it was the same person. Thank you for sharing that. I think they said that there's a certain temperature that they can do, and if it's hotter than that, it's really, really hard in their body. That could be it, and I'm just getting the effect of it. You know, like if it happened on, let's just say 5 days ago, the next day or 2 days later, I was starting to feel something off. But during the time, I really wasn't bothered. When we went out hiking in X amount of days, it wasn't every day and it wasn't consecutive days. It wasn't like that. It was more spread out. But I did kind of notice that, and I did kind of think about it yesterday, that it could be just I'm sore. But because when you do suffer with PCS, when you are not feeling 100% perfectly fine, soreness, or even you got a sprain or an allergy, like your symptoms flare back up. So it could be that. It could be the fact that I was just physically fatigued and tired, and I'm not really used to like doing the hiking. But to be quite honest, it wasn't really like the next day my whole body felt bad. Honey, can you stop that, please? It wasn't like my whole body was completely sore and I couldn't get out of bed. It was more like I was slightly sore because I wasn't really used to hiking. And I was slightly sore for a few days. But I gotta say, like, I've been sore before. I know what that feels like, and I do remember what that feels like when you're just in absolute pain and it like there's just a lot of muscle aches. It wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like that. It was just I'm slightly sore. That was it. It was just very, very slight, and it could be the combination of that and then the heat and the excessive sunshine. I really thought that the summer with the more hours of the day that would have light would actually help, because in the darker days, oh my gosh, it's also a fog again. So if this is the case, then it's like all year round, people like me really just, like, what can we really do? If it's really darker, we're having like a mental brain fog or like mental coma. One person actually said that too. Thank you. I'm actually using all the input. I mean, what can we really do if it is like this all year round? I was really hoping like every day, I'm like, I can't wait to be summer. I can't wait for it to be summer. So I'm not going to be in this mental fog. I'm not going to have this fog. I'm not going to have this fog. And now it's here again. So it's like, is this who I am? Is this who we are now? Just, it doesn't matter what the weather is. It doesn't matter if it's sunnier or darker. It's just going to be such a struggle and a battle, regardless of the weather, regardless of the sunshine, regardless if it's gray out, regardless of anything. I don't want to be a negative person, because then it's going to push me to my depression. And that was a really scary moment for me. I really don't want to do that. And I think this is a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I just wanted to dump everything in and share everything in. And of course, so I can go back at it whenever I want to, like, oh, this is how I was feeling in this particular time. And I'm hoping that I am better when I do go back at it, but I'll be right there, sweetheart. But I need to tend to my son, and I'm gonna have breakfast and all that stuff. But this is what I've been feeling in the past, I would say, a week. Thank you for all the support, for beautiful comments, any kind of advice you guys have. Like, for example, you suffer from PCS, or you have a loved one and you've noticed that they do certain things that made them feel better, please leave me the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys all the time. And any kind of like throw me a bone there or something really does help for me. I try as much as possible, anything that I feel comfortable with. But again, PCS, I'm also like hit with anxiety, and a lot of times like anxiety comes with like a lot of fears. So if I'm not jumping on that right away, it has nothing to do with you. It's all about me. I'm so sorry about that. But I want to take everybody's advice and kind of read through it and see if it works for me or not. So please do let me know down below in the comment section. All my social media accounts are in the description section. Thank you guys so much for being so supportive. Thank you guys so much for like the beautiful, encouraging words. I love my concussion group on Facebook. They are just the best. Everybody is just such a beautiful soul, and just, we're all in the same boat. And I can really feel like we're all very, very supportive. And despite what's going on with our lives, I'm really, really grateful that it's one of those groups that are just there to help. You know, no one's snarky, no one is like petty, you know, like I really, really love that. So thank you guys so much for having me there, and thank you guys so much for the support. And when I do get, you know, like just ask some questions and things like that, people are very, very helpful. And I do hope whoever is watching this can share this, because I do want to spread PCS awareness or post-concussion syndrome awareness, because a lot of people just feel like it's a bump in the head. Oh, you just hit your head. Oh, you just bumped your head. Oh, you got a little woozy. Oh, you just vomited. So you're cool now. You're fine now. It's not really like that. So, thanks again. Please share. And I hope you enjoyed my video. You're going to hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.